Hello, hello, hello. What is up? You know how we do. We struggle streaming today, engineering fam. As you can see behind me, we have our topic of the day. We're going to be talking about Star Wars, Obi Wan Kenobi. I'm super excited. Season 1 just dropped on Disney Plus, and I personally am trying to see all of it, and I can't wait to see all of it. But when they dropped their episodes, they actually dropped 2 episodes to premiere. So I was super excited because I went ahead and ran through them. They dropped them. Was it yesterday? I believe, or maybe last night. And I definitely binge watched them. So let's go ahead and get into it. My name is the Elevated Engineer. I'll be hosting as usual. Today we are going to be reviewing, recapping, philosophizing this new Star Wars series that just dropped, because as we all know, there's always a new Star Wars series. But moving on. So as I like to do, we like to go ahead and get into it first. The first thing I usually like to do is I like to actually go through the cast of characters a little bit, because I think that kind of gives us a little bit of insight into actually the motivations behind the characters. Hold on, I'm just trying to open this chat up. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over. All right, so take me out of there. The cast of characters, obviously, you know who Ewan McGregor is returning, as was to be expected. And I gotta be honest, man, I've been looking forward to an Obi Wan series probably since episode 1 dropped. Honestly, and I was in the late 90s, I think. Late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. Episode 1 dropped, man. But you got to understand, for me, and people in my generation, we only ever really saw Obi Wan as like an old man, right? So, when they first announced that this was gonna come out, people was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah." So of course, Ewan McGregor is gonna be in it. He is going to be the title character, as we all know he should be. Oh, I just had it open. Give me a second. I just had the IMDb open. Hold on. But it also has some new characters that we're gonna get into, and and spoiler alert. So far, even though towards the end he makes somewhat of an appearance, we have not necessarily seen Anakin or Hayden Christensen. So, but he is in it. IMDb says he's in it. I think you can't really tell if it's him or not at the end of the second episode. But let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, Princess Leia is not going to be played by the original actress, Carrie Fisher. Because this is obviously a prequel, and Star Wars goes everywhere. But they got the little girl, Vivian Lyra Blair. She's so adorable. She plays Princess Leia as a little kid, and I can't lie. She does a pretty. I felt like she did a pretty accurate job of actually trying to convey what we would later see as Princess Leia. the general of the rebel army and freedom fighter, etc., etc. I think she kind of has that little like rebelliousness. Quite early, you can kind of see it with her scenes that she's kind of chewing up the scene. She has a scene where she basically makes her cousin look very dumb, and you also get to see the pre-Alderaan. So it's gonna be, there. It makes you. It tugs on a little bit heartstrings. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll get to that in a minute. So after that, well, I already talked about Ewan McGregor. He really doesn't need any introduction at this point. He's been playing Obi Wan since episode 1, Phantom Menace. But they also had the Grand Inquisitor, and that's pretty interesting. Disney is going about it, trying to incorporate the entire Star Wars entity into like one cohesive kind of canon, which I appreciate. So this guy Rupert Friend plays the Inquisitor, and you'll know him from what was it, the Star Wars Rebels series. Was he in the Clone Wars? I don't think he was in the Clone Wars. Or if he was, he might have been in like a very small appearance, but he had a very big appearance in Star Wars Rebels. You could see him. I don't have any better pictures of him. I kind of like seeing them when they're in their characters a little bit. Hold on. Grand Inquisitor Rupert Friend. I just want to see some pics of him because I think he looks decent. Yeah, you can see him. He looks pretty cool, right? He looks pretty cool. So I can't knock that. I think he looks pretty cool. Who else? Oh, they also oh god, they got the this lady is okay, honestly. Like, she's okay playing the Star Wars kind of character. She's a little annoying, honestly. What is her? But honestly, she's playing the villain, but you just can't help but see that she's kind of playing the. Is it that the angry black woman thing is a trope that we just so associate with black women? That's kind of what the vibes you get off. But she is an angry black woman. She is an angry black woman. So I'm not gonna, But she, what? I'm not gonna lie. She plays someone. What's her name in the action? Her name is Moses Ingram, and she plays Inquisitor Reva, but they also call her the third sister. Okay, so that's her. Also, you got my guy Sung. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name, but Sung Kang or Sung Kang, Sung Kang. They got my man from Fast and the Furious. Was it Juan? What the fuck was his name in Fast and the Furious? Don't play me like that. Han, that's what it was. Yeah. So they got Han in the and he really looks like, he does not look like himself at all. Let me look at what is his name actually in this, cuz he's another Inquisitor. Fifth brother. That's just what they call him. Fifth brother, I guess. Hold on. Sung Kang, Star Wars, Obi Wan. Show me some images. They all kind of look really pasty skin, and well, that's not the guy he's playing. Is that the guy he's playing? That might have been a guy he was playing. See, that's what you got. See, I gotta go to Google. The Star page doesn't have Sun Kang, Star Wars. Yeah. Let's go to images. Is that the guy he's playing? Oh, it is the guy he's playing. I remember him from the show too. Oh, I can't. I remember him from the Rebel show. Okay, gotcha. Fifth brother, gotcha. Okay, they got my man Kumail Nanjiani from Silicon Valley. He does his thing, and of course, I mean Hayden Christensen. There's some other hitters. O'Shea, oh, O'Shea, O'Shea Jackson Jr., aka Ice Cube Jr. They got some other hitters. What I'm really interested in is, I mean, at this point, is this well? Okay, so when does this take place? Because it's 10 years after Order 66. So okay, so let's go ahead and start it in from right there and to get into the plot of the Star Wars Obi Wan series that I've been looking forward to for a while. So this story takes place 10 years after Order 66. So basically 10 years after Luke and Leia are born, 10 years pretty much after the conclusion of the Clone Wars, or it would be Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. After the conclusion of that, basically all the Jedi are have been scattered, and they are pretty much they're just running for their lives. They're hiding out. Basically, they're not really they're not the Jedi that we know them to be. So it's real kind of it's an interesting take because you never really seen a Jedi like this. Most times when you see the Jedi, you either see them and they're either we're talking about the pre-Empire days, and they have the Jedi Council. They're strong, they're powerful. There's multiple Jedi's, or you don't really see them at all because it's like at the time after Order 66, and they ain't really like they used to be. Yeah, there's maybe a few Jedi, but it ain't like there's a lot. But you never really get to see the in between as much. You seen it, Star Wars Rebels. You seen it. With Cade, not Cade. Oh gosh. The two Jedi and Rebels. Excuse me. But hold on. My camera is game. I am struggle streaming right now. So if you could apologize, if I could apologize, this We're back. You know we struggle streaming. You know we struggle. You know we struggle streaming. You know we struggle streaming. All right, we're back. We are back. Have some technical difficulties. So like I was saying, so where's we at? So, Star Wars Rebels, you don't really get to see the Jedi, and that was really the only time, mostly, I'm sure there's other instances, where there's like, you don't really get to see the Jedi kind of on a run like that. You only really get, you know what I'm saying, how I just explained it. So, you know, that's kind of the whole dynamic of the show. So it kind of starts out where, you know, it starts out, like so many other stories, it takes place on Tatooine. Which, you know, of course, that would make sense because, you know, that's essentially where Luke is going to grow up and, you know, start his adventures or whatever. But everyone's looking basically for Jedi, as the Inquisitors, you know, are known to do. And, you know, they're actually on the planet Tatooine looking for a Jedi, but the Jedi that they're looking for is not Obi Wan. He just happens to be on the same planet looking for Obi Wan as well. But the Empire is, of course, looking for all Jedi. So, you know, this new Jedi, this guy, you know, he more or less, you know, he's hiding out, you know, doing what Jedis do, kind of staying low, but he's also being hunted. And that's kind of where it starts, because it starts the episode and the Inquisitors are kind of looking for any Jedi, and you see the main Inquisitor, and you just like, yo, the guy, what's his name? The Grand Inquisitor. You just like, excuse me. You're like, yo, I know that is not, you know what I mean, the Grand Inquisitor, because remember in the Book of Boba Fett, you had oh god, what was the guy? He's a bounty hunter, Cade Bane. You had Cade Bane show up. You know, they got rid of him quick, but still, so Disney's trying to incorporate stuff, which I can't lie, I somewhat appreciate it, considering the movies are kind of sucky. So then, you know, they're looking for Jedi and all this stuff, and it's kind of cool because it's just like, yo, like, we already know what you Jedi's gonna do. Like they come into this bar and they're just like, yo, we looking for Jedi, but if you're trying to hide them, we already know what y'all gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know if the Jedi, you know, he might be here. He might have seen a couple of you getting robbed. He can't help himself but to try to help you. You know, even if it's in his best interest to not do or say anything. You're just like, damn, like, they really do know the Jedi. And you know what? I'm going to get into the philosophy of that, actually. Because, by the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. I really appreciate it. Going forward, the likes really help the algorithm. So, with that being said, so I get into the philosophy of the Jedi's mindset. And I also, what I want to get into that mindset of how it led to their downfall. So we'll get on that. As you all know, I like to introduce the cast. Then I like to talk about the plot. Then I like to do my reviews of good or bad, and then I like to just give my philosophy on it. So yeah. So after that being said, you know, they're like, where's any Jedi here? Blah, blah, blah. we know how you think. So then the third sister, she's just like, she gets tired and she's like, yo, I'm tired of being nice. You know what I mean? Like, what? So she's just like, yo, anybody don't say nothing, we gonna start killing people. So then she's just like, you know what, screw it. She's like, I already know you're gonna do it. She picks up a knife. It's just like, yeah. Jedi stops it, pop, because she throws it. She's basically gonna throw it at an innocent bystander, right? Because they really don't care. Like they're really just like, they're pretty much bad guys. I'm sure there's gonna be more explained about it going forward, but they're pretty much jerk offs. So then they like, they chase him. They find out he's a Jedi. It's like, yo, we told you, we know how you think, blah blah blah. So he gets up, starts running. And then he's just like, yo, like, like they escape him, but they're just like, yo, we're gonna kill him, blah blah blah. But then they kind of stop him from killing the Jedi, so he could escape. Probably so that he could lead him to another, Jedi or whoever, right? So they let him go, blah blah blah. So they never really explained how, but he ends up finding Obi Wan, who has been hiding out. Obi Wan's just like, yo, like he's just like, yo, like he runs up, he's like, Obi Wan, man, what we gonna do, baby? You know what I mean? Like, we gotta reform the Jedi. He's just like, listen, I don't know who that is. My name is Ben. I don't know an Obi Wan like that. I really don't. You know what I mean? Obi Wan, like, listen, man, you know what I mean? I don't even know who that is. I don't know anything about that. but then he's just like, look, like, you need to just lay low right now because you drawing too much attention. The Jedi are being hunted right now. We not where we should be. We ain't got the numbers. Blah blah blah. Right? You making the block too hot. Right? In other words, so he's just like, yeah, blah blah blah. But you gotta help us, such and such. So I mean, it's interesting because this is another aspect of Obi Wan that you don't really get to see that often. And it's kind of the reluctant, like, look, man, I ain't really trying to get involved in that type Obi Wan. But normally when we see Obi Wan, he was always like, nah, we gotta do this. We gotta get going. That may be a good idea, but let's do this instead. Blah blah, like a thinking type of guy. Whereas this, he's just like, look, and there's you can see like they're showing out, on purpose. Like, bro, it's been 10 years. Like, there's one point he's like, yo, it's been 10 years. I'm not the Jedi I used to be. Like, straight up, like, man, I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? Like, been fighting battles my whole life. I'm getting old. So it's interesting to see Obi-Wan like that, because that's normally what we're not used to seeing Obi-Wan being, like, just that guy who's like the reluctant, like, not even a reluctant hero, just a dude trying to survive. Like, that's not something that we're used to seeing Obi-Wan being. So that's a very interesting dynamic. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with that even more. So as they go on, Obi-Wan, you get to see Owen again. And for the non Star Wars-y type, Owen was Luke's uncle, I believe. Technically, I think he was actually Anakin's uncle. So I think he's actually Luke's granduncle. Like, I think he's his grandmother's brother to Luke. That's who Owen is, right? And remember, that's who he left him with originally. And we know what's gonna happen to them eventually. So he leaves it to them, and he's just like, you can tell he does not have that much love for Jedis, because in his eyes, and to an extent, he's kind of right. And this is another thing too, that they really was like deep, like it really, really hit where, who tells him? Who told him that that about Anakin. Who told him? Whoever told him. I forgot who told him. But whoever told him, oh, you know who it was? It was the second sister or third sister, whatever it is. That's who told him. I forgot, because she gets to a point where they end up kidnapping Princess Leia. And it was doing that to draw out Obi Wan, right? But in that process, apparently for whatever reason, which I'm sure they're gonna reveal, the second sister got some beef with Obi Wan. I guess they've been chasing him or whatever for however long, but for whatever reason, she got a beef, and she's actually, I believe, an apprentice of Darth Vader, right? Which is kind of cool. It's like, oh yes, oh, will really be interesting. I don't think Maul's gonna appear, because that will be after. That's the Rebels years, and then Rebels is right before Episode 4, and by the time Rebels comes around, Obi-Wan's already even older than he is now. So it's gotta be like it's gotta be something else. So no, so what they revealed, like, Obi-Wan didn't find out that Darth Vader was Anakin until she told him, because he thought that Anakin was dead, and that goes back to Owen. So Owen, and that's a big revelation. Spoilers alert! Spoiler alert! That's not a huge spoiler, but it's like it can be. It has potential to have some implications. But that's going back to Owen. Owen is looking like, I don't really like Jedis like that, because Jedis basically got my nephew killed, because Obi-Wan came recruiting. Obi-Wan came recruiting, and but technically he's kind of right. Like, the Jedi kind of did get Anakin killed in his mind. In his mind, they did. So I don't, you can't really get mad at him for not, you know what I'm saying, having love for the Jedi like that, because he, at the end of the day, is just like, he doesn't know the whole story, and it's unfortunate, because, that's just the way it is. Like, people, it's just the way it's gonna be. Like, people are never gonna know the whole story of war. Like they're only gonna know what they heard or what the news tells them or whatever. So they're never gonna know the true story of what happens when their kids or their loved ones die, quote unquote, in their eyes. So that's a very interesting aspect of him, and knowing that he didn't have no love for the actual Jedi is another thing that's like, oh, okay, gotcha. Like, not everybody has love for the Jedi. Even though the Jedi was trying to help everybody, you're never going to be able to appease everyone. So I think that's just a very good dynamic, because we never really knew that relationship was like. So after it's revealed that, Obi-Wan never knew that Anakin was, in fact, Darth Vader, which is very revelatory. It's like, after that happens, they're just like, oh, okay, right? So then they kind of move on. This is all in, like, episode 1. Like, episode 1 happens. At the end of that, they kind of kidnap the Princess Leia. And then episode 2 happens, and then they kind of Organa, which was her adopted parents, they hit him up. They're like, yo, Obi Wan, like, yo, listen, I know you in hideout, you're in hiding, but we need you to go ahead and help us with this. Oh, that's when Obi Wan is like, yo, it's been 10 years. I ain't the same dude. I can't do it. Ask somebody else to do it. And they like, you can't. Obi Wan, please come save us. How many times has he gotten this message? This is so Star Wars. Like, it's just repeats over and over. How many times have we been in the same situation when Obi Wan gets a message from out of the middle of no place that says, Obi Wan, please come help us, and that's what they're playing into. So he had to say, get up and save. Oh, back to what I said with the first episode. At the end of the day, when Obi-Wan refused to help old dude, the guy that he refused to help ends up getting murked. And that's what pushes him to be like, all right, I need to get back on my game, right? And that's how that pushes him to go and attempt a rescue of Princess Leia, right? And it was crazy because he gave a real answer. He was just like, when the Organa was asking him to go rescue his essentially his daughter, he's like, yo, like, I need you to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to do this. And he was just like, yo, like, is she not as important as the other one? Are they both not important? And Obi-Wan's like, look, man, I already got this one over here, man. Like, Luke, I'm already watching this one. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. I'm not really trying to get more on it. It's like, is she not important as important as Luke? Like, and that's also a question we as the audience have all asked ourselves. Is Princess Leia as important to whatever as Luke is? Like, is she just as important to saving the galaxy as Luke? It's arguable that she might actually be more important, but I mean, she's not a Jedi. Not technically not. You know what I mean? So, that's something that there's a lot of I'm not gonna say they break the fourth wall. I mean, Obi-Wan's never go look at the camera like, what you think about that? Nah, it ain't gonna. But I'll say that it kind of brings the audience. It starts to question the audience. Well, like how we've been looking at Princess Leia. Is she as important as Luke? Now, I would say she's far more important than Han Solo, who I don't know why Han Solo got a movie, but yeah. All right. So after that, after the rescue and all that good stuff, they pretty much end that with episode 2. And so I'll stop right there on the plot, because I think it's a limited series. I think it's only gonna be like 6 episodes. So we're already a third of the way through the series, and so they're probably gonna be dropping each one weekly. But yeah, man. So now that I kind of got into the plot, I'm gonna talk about what I liked and what I didn't like about these. It's only been 2 episodes, so I will say that I did not like it started off very slow. The pacing was a little off at first. That's one thing I'm big on, is like pacing, like actually having cohesive storyline and mixing the action in with just moving the story along. I think it was slow for the first probably hour of everything, where it just setting people up. I think that I mean, other than Obi-Wan, pretty much the entire cast and Hayden Christensen, who's gonna be playing Darth Vader. I think pretty much the entire Senator Organa, who he's royalty or whatever. Well, it's mostly a new cast for the most part, so it's like you get to see the you get to see the inner workings, obviously, other characters we know, but some of the actors were a little bit much. The third sister, second sister, whatever her name is, I don't know, man. She seems like she's in it, but she don't seem like she's. She seemed like the part is. She seems like she will probably get better as the series goes along. I put it like that because she seems like she's doing too much. She seems like it's not coming as natural to her. I think that's probably because, the dynamics of the show. Cause we'll get you, Obi Wan. It's like, all right, that's Star Wars, but you got to do the loud screaming in the rain. so yeah, no. So I don't have a problem with that. I think she'll get better at it. They also, as Star Wars always does, they have to have the little kid annoying sidekick trope that has been, repeated over and over and over again. You knew that was gonna happen. At the end of the day, Star Wars is for kids, but come on, we gotta do it in every new series or movie. We gotta do it. All right, okay. Well, that's. I guess that's just gonna be Star Wars. Okay, so I did like that. I did like when the action was the action. So far, no real lightsaber battles. You know what? I gotta be honest. We haven't had any good lightsaber battles since the prequels. And I miss it. I miss it. You know what I mean? You know what? There's a couple of scenes in here that I was like, man, it was borderline like rated R type of material. There's some violence. That's like pushing the PG, rating, pushing Disney. I would say pushing Disney, pushing Star Wars. Not as much. I mean, it's definitely some appendage removal, but nothing like crazy or nothing like that. So, I mean, so far I'm enjoying the series. I'm gonna go ahead and give so far the series an 8.5 out of 10. I think the series I think it's gonna get a lot better. I mean, truth be told, even though I did finish the Book of Boba Fett, I still have not finished The Mandalorian, and I've been slacking. I've been slacking. You know what I'm saying? I've been slacking, but it's okay though. You're like I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, like no. But like I said, with Star Wars, you kind of gotta take what they give you, because it's like it's Star Wars. Lucas is still alive, so we gotta appreciate it for what it is right now. I think this series is definitely gonna be one of the better additions. You know what, the movies have been, the latest 3 movies was. Yeah, So I think this is a really good addition to that. I know people have been wanting to dig into Obi Wan for a long time. Who is this actually directed by? Is my next question. Deborah Chow. I don't know who that is, but I think she looked kind of good though. Oh, so she's a director and writer known for The Mandalorian, American Gods, which I could never get into Mandalorian, man. I can never get into Mandalorian, right? But I mean, not Mandalorian, American Gods. Yeah, so yeah, Deborah Chow, man. So for these first couple of episodes, she pretty much holds it down. She definitely could do a lot more. Oh, there's also some guest appearances, yo. Like, there's some guest appearances. Flea, bro. Like, Flea is in this. Flea. Yeah, that Flea. Flea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This chick has been busy. She's been doing a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. Yeah. So no, it was uh it's enjoyable. It's definitely. So now let's go ahead and get into the whole philosophy of the thing. Um okay. So I wanted to talk specifically about the Jedi and how they ended up in this situation. I think the Jedi, for one, are just. I think that the arrogance that that oops, I just did something I wasn't supposed to do. I think the Jedi and their arrogance is what led to their downfall. Because the Jedi have a way of just blinding themselves to everything to potential problems that are gonna be showing up. And I mean, it's like you know this because they didn't see the emperor coming, and a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, ooh, they didn't see the emperor coming because he was, he was too nasty." But it was like, no, they didn't see the emperor coming because they didn't. In my opinion, I think they didn't. Oh, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Transform. I believe that the Jedi themselves brought about a lot of the incursions on themselves because they, unlike the Sith, are honestly kind of trying to please everybody. And it really kind of makes it so they can't see when there's deception right underneath their nose. And it's crazy because you know that, like, take for example the clone army, Sifo Dyas and all that, that planet. What the hell is the planet called? That actually the clones were born on. Clones. Camino. Excuse me. Camino. They didn't see that happen. It was all hidden. Remember, if you go to episode 2, when Obi Wan was trying to find out the secret of the the clone army and everything, it was hidden in the archives. The whole planet, Camino, and all that stuff was hidden in the archive, right? And due to arrogance, they didn't see it. They didn't see Anakin. They definitely. You had dudes who had their suspicions, like Mace Windu. He was like, this little nigga might be a little, might not want to do. He a little too old. He a little too much. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't see it. You know what I mean? And then, when they were the heads of the Republic, one big thing I think that the Jedi messed up on was the fact that they started calling themselves general, which means they were officially soldiers. And Jedi really aren't supposed to be soldiers. They're supposed to be, you could say, peacemakers, but they're really not supposed to be soldiers. But they became soldiers during the Clone Wars. And really, that's when things started going downhill. I mean, the fact that the Emperor was had the whole thing was a chessboard for him, and he had both sides working for him. Was a testament to the fact that how arrogant they were. The Emperor is sitting right there next to you, and you don't know it's him. Even Yoda didn't know. Come on, man. So that arrogance is what's killing him. I think that arrogance what kills any group of people, who got their shit together. And Jedi got their stuff together, but I think it kills any of them because what's stopping? I mean, you don't see the what's the saying? The hit that gets you is the one you don't see coming. This is a perfect example of that. I mean, the problem with the Jedi is that they don't. Okay, let's look at the Sith because I don't want to, bang about them too much, but it's the truth. Let's look at the Sith. The Sith don't, they care. They don't care. They indulge in the dark side. They, do whatever they want to an extent. They have one. They only got one. They're supposed to have one Sith Lord, and then the Sith Lord is supposed to have an apprentice. There's no console, nothing like that. It's like, hey, I'm a lord, I got my apprentices. Get on. But the fact of the matter is, the Sith can sit and survive for centuries, for millennia, without you knowing that they there. Whereas the Jedi, they can't help themselves, and that's just who they are as a Jedi. Like, they can't help themselves but to fight for, somebody who's weaker than them, or somebody who's being oppressed, or whatever. And yeah, that's the right thing to do. but just like this episode showed us, it ain't the right thing to do all the time. You turn it down a little bit. So I think that arrogance. Let me tell you about me. Like, my arrogance my ego used to get me in trouble a lot more than it had to. And as I started learning how to control it or whatnot, and how to focus it, and not to even have an ego. I mean, I'm still a human. I'm still a man. I'm still always gonna have some type of ego, just because that's just who I am. But if you can control your ego, and that's kind of what Star Wars is kind of teaching us. Don't get it twisted. Star Wars is still teaching us some lessons, even as a grown man. That ego and that arrogance is gonna come and get you, and that dark side is just waiting. You know what I'm saying? The dark side is just waiting on you to get that ego. You know what I'm saying? It's waiting on that ego, which I believe the ego is your other. I think it's your dark side. I think the ego is your dark side. You know what I'm saying? The ego can never be wrong. The ego can never be bruised. Ego, you know what I mean? The ego is infallible, or you know what I mean? All that BS. We all know it's not, but the people who don't realize that are the people who end up in the worst types of situations. Now, even though, and it can happen to anybody, but the thing with the Jedi is the Jedi didn't really understand, or maybe they have been in power for too long, or maybe they underestimated the power of the Sith. You know what I'm saying? The ruthlessness of their enemies. They overestimated their own power of the Force. You know what I'm saying? They overestimated the will of the people to do what's right. Seeing as how in episode 3 they pretty much threw democracy out the window and said, "Nah, we gonna turn this into the Empire. We gonna give him power." They completely overestimated weak people, which politicians are, essentially. They underestimated all that stuff, and it ended up coming back and biting them. And if you think about it, at the start of this show, the Jedi are pretty much scattered to the wind. Here's the thing. You can never, ever completely get rid of one side or the other. You cannot. The light side can't get rid of the dark. Dark can't get rid of the light. They need each other. And they are in constant contention with each other. That's the whole thing. They're light and dark, light and dark. I mean, it's really about humanity, really. And what is the Force? I mean, the Force just might be your inner energy for you to get shit done. Seriously, I mean, okay, granted, yes, I'm going to go on a nerd rant. Okay? I'm going to go on a nerd rant. But if you're going by the remakes and a new episodes and a midichlorian garbage, okay, whatever, fine. But if you're going by the original Star Wars canon, the Force was a power that we could all access. Okay, it's kind of like the if you were to see my Halo review, it's like only Master Chief and this other chick can access the Halo object, whereas in Star Wars, only those who are born special, basically able to have this cosmic virus. It's not a virus because it's a symbiotic relationship, but I mean, you got the midichlorians or whatever. Like, it's basically a cosmic awareness disease. I mean, it's not hurt you. I guess you're a mutant. I don't know. You're basically able to have you were born with these miniature animals, microscopic organism called midichlorians, whatever the fuck. I don't even know if they're still using a midichlorians thing, but if they're not using a midichlorians thing, I'm not talking about the midichlorians retcon, okay? I'm talking about the original Star Wars where pretty much anyone could manipulate the Force, but certain people were adept at it better than mostly everybody else, and they become Jedis or Sith or gray Jedi or what have you, whatever. But at least, and then back then it was like, oh, every living creature has some Force, such and such, whatever, right? So with the Jedi, there's only a few people who could actually use the Force. So it's like, it's kind of, it can make you arrogant, I would say, because you have a power most people don't have. Everyone, bows and thanks you most times, or they're trying to kill you. So you can't have any relationships, you can't have any kids, you can't do any of that, have any attachments and all that stuff. So it's a tough life. So, with the Sith, it's like it's a tough life, but it's different with the Sith. The Sith is like a ruthless life. Like, you could be killed by the Sith. You can be killed by a fellow Sith easily. It's like, whatever, fuck you. I want to be the the Sith Lord. Wait a second, weren't you my apprentice? Yeah, it was just good an hour ago. Well, you know what I'm saying? I want to be the Sith Lord now. Wow, right? How many times do Sith apprentice kill Sith Lords? Like, it happens every time. Yeah. Man, what time is it? Okay, it's just after 5. I still got a little more time left. I'm only going to go about an hour or so today. I won't be too long. Anyways, with the philosophy of these Jedi being arrogant, you get to really kind of dive deep into why, a group of people who are that powerful can fall so fast. And it's like, okay, because when they got hit, like they couldn't, like they didn't see it coming. The Sith, man, the Sith was so smooth with it, man. Like that, this motherfucking Emperor just sitting by, relaxing, chilling. You know what I'm saying? How else do you not know that's not the Emperor or Darth Sidious, whatever you know he'd like to be called? But how would you not? Because of the arrogance. I'm telling you, man, that Lucas be trying to teach his lessons, man. He be trying to teach his lessons because you kind of, even though Star Wars is, space opera, space fantasy, and it's not necessarily science fiction per se. In my eyes, I consider science fiction to be something more like Star Trek, Dune, based off like heavy books like, I wouldn't say Lord of the Rings is science fiction, more like fantasy. But, where Star Wars more, like I said, it's like a space opera. You pretty much know what's going to happen to Star Wars. Even if you don't know every detail, you pretty much know, what's going to happen at the end. Obi Wan's going to live out the series, everyone. I hate to disappoint you. They're not going to clone Obi Wan in one. No, he's going to live. So pretty much. And, what I really want is I want Darth Vader to make an appearance. I think it's important to see how, because I think they're going to. It only makes sense. I think they're definitely going to have Darth Vader meet Obi-Wan. Like, I think they're going to meet, and then whenever they're going to meet, they might fight or they might talk or whatever, and then somehow Obi-Wan's going to escape. And then, it's only 6 episodes. So somehow Obi-Wan is going to escape. He's going to make it back to Tatooine, and, he's going to raise Luke. Now, we don't know what happened in the time between that, but that's pretty much what's going to happen. But with this particular take on it, the philosophy, you get to see the light and the dark in terms of Obi-Wan and Anakin, and you get to see, like, the paths that they take. We know how it's going to end up. Spoiler alert, Obi-Wan becomes a Force Ghost. we know how the story's going to end, but I believe that seeing it like this, like seeing Obi-Wan, he's not as young anymore, but he's not nearly as old as when we first saw him. And he ain't got the moves that we had when we last seen him. Because we last seen him was episode 3, essentially. Oh, episode 3? And canonically speaking, episode 3 would be the last time we seen him. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so because he's been in also like Star Wars Rebels, he was in the Clone Wars. I think he was in. No, he was in Rebels. He was definitely in Rebels. I'm tripping. He was definitely in Rebels. Yeah, he was definitely in that. So yeah, man, I'm excited about this series. I think that this represents probably the direction that Star Wars is probably going to be going. Well, it has been going for a little while now. I mean, Disney owns the world, so we pretty much see how that's going to be going. So I think that with this particular series, man, I'm definitely going to be super excited. Let's go ahead and get me off of there. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be super excited, man. Because I think that, I think, well, we all going to be in a house. But anyways, so the next one I'm going to be doing, by the way, drop a like, share, subscribe. The next one I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to it's either gonna be Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, or Top Gun. So I'll probably do either one. I already seen Doctor Strange, so I could probably do that one really quick. And Top Gun I haven't seen yet, so I'm gonna be seeing that this weekend. So we're gonna be seeing about that. Then I'm going to be still working on Pandas. Yeah. I'm trying to been falling behind as usual. That's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this stuff again, because this is originally how I started, was doing these types of reviews and recaps and everything. But I'm gonna be doing Pandas video. I'm still working on it. I'm still debugging it. I can't lie. I'm still debugging it, getting it to work perfectly so you all can really understand what's kind of going on with it. Yeah. So that's going to be it for this episode of Elevated Reviews. This is another episode of Elevated Engineering, though. I don't want to get it twisted. Thank you so much, Engineering fam. I appreciate all the love that I've been getting lately. My channel actually has been growing. Slowly but surely it has been growing. And I want to give a big shout out to all the Engineering fam. Oh, happy Memorial Day to all the veterans we lost, and all those in between. Salute to the families of those lost in the events that happened these last couple of weeks. So, with that being said, I don't want to get too off topic. Thanks again, Engineering fam. I'm your host. That's it.